was going to turn this thing on earlier, but that road back there, oh my gosh. It was like they poured asphalt over an old-timey concrete highway, and the asphalt had fallen into the expansion joints.
That's pretty good.
Thank you. I rehearsed that.
Did you? I wish I was there for the rehearsals. That would have been funny.
It's Friday. I put my 6 or so hours of work in this morning. Got home and you saw some of the prep work. I probably could have time-lapsed me putting the bikes on the top of the car, but I wasn't sure how long it took me, and so I didn't set up a time-lapse. But as you noticed, I did everything. She did nothing.
I help when I can. I had the grandbaby this time. I helped keep him happy while you did all that.
You weren't doing a very good job of keeping him happy.
He was happy today. That was yesterday that he wasn't happy.
Anywho, it's Friday.
Yay, Friday!
We are going to a state park up on the north end of the state.
That we've never been to.
It's a place that she's never been to.
You've never been to it either.
I have to.
When you were a kid?
Yep.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
I didn't know you were ever a kid.
I'm pretty sure I was.
Check with your mom.
All right. Anyway, we'll see you when we get there. Great Salt Plains State Park. It's in northern Oklahoma. Little bitty campground. This is the River Road loop that we're on, right by the spillway.
Can you hear the spillway?
Excuse me. Our neighbor, he likes to listen to music.
But it's good music.
Yeah, it's good music. But he did tell us if it's too loud, he would turn it down, so that's cool. It's nice out here.
It's a nice day, too. A little bit of chill in the wind, but it's windy.
It is a little windy.
It's supposed to rain tomorrow.
You just got to poo on everybody's parade, don't you?
No, I'm just saying that's probably why there's wind today, is because it's going to rain tomorrow. Or because it's Oklahoma and it always is windy. I'm trying to keep your head up. The sun's trying to hit me in the eyeballs.
Should have worn my sunglasses. So when we first get to camp, while the coach is leveling,
she's outside putting the fence up, so I don't typically get to catch her putting the fence up because a lot of times she's about 3/4 of the way done by the time I get out there. And we've had some inquiries about the fence. I mean, honestly, when we're at a campground, anybody that walks by that has dogs has to stop and ask about our fence. But RD Rose 61 and Dino Carroll have both inquired on the channel about this fence, and I made an attempt to do a time lapse here a couple of weeks ago that really didn't show the details of the fence, so we're going to get into that now. We've got 3 packages of Regalo,
Probably.
play fence, child fence, toddler fence, whatever.
It's a mixture of 2. One had more sections in it than the
Yeah.
other. So.
And they're about $90 for 8 panels, and we've got 3 of them. And we have some garden fence, some plastic mesh type garden fence that we use for the skirting underneath the coach.
You have to have somewhat, you have to have dogs that have somewhat training and somewhat manners, or they could just go through that garden fence.
But it's easy to put together, really. When we fold it up, we've got it in 3 different sections. And then when we pull it out here, we just have to put those 3 sections together, and you know, this screws off here, and this post is what connects the 2 panels together. Yeah, sometimes she gets picky about where the gates go. Like right here is a gate. And since we have 3 different sections, we've got 3 gates.
Actually, we have 4 gates.
Do we really?
Yeah, we do. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wonder how we got a 4th one.
We'll have to count, see how many sections we actually have.
She used to get real particular about where the gates were, and then after a while of doing this, it just kind of like, okay, that's where the gate ended up. Have fun.
No, I still make sure one's near the car and one's near the back.
Yeah. Then
Not as picky though.
The other piece of this, you can see she uses clamps here to secure the garden fence to the toddler fence. And then something I have done to help this out is I took a couple of these rubber pieces and a washer so that she can loop this fence over it, and I've done this up and down the line on the coach, just like one on every bay. So
ours kind of leans up at the end, so it kind of makes the fence go up at the end, which is why you saw all the weird stuff going on there with the barbells and stuff. Not all campers are going to do that to you.
Yeah, she uses some old metal barbells that we don't use anymore. We prefer the rubbered ones, so she uses those as weights. It works out well. That garden fence is just enough to keep the dogs from heading out under the camper over to that big monster Chihuahua next door. And I mean, honestly, this fence is kind of like putting a padlock on a gate. It's just to keep honest people, or in this case, honest dogs, honest.
Yeah.
If you've got a dog that likes to run and escape, this will never work.
No. And the poodle can jump right over it, but he knows he's not
flat-footed. He
Yeah.
can go up to a flat-footed and just jump right over it.
Right.
But he's a good pup. He comes back.
We don't let him.
But that's the fence. Hopefully this answers any of your questions a little bit better than that silly little time lapse I did a couple of weeks ago.
bad looking in the sun, squinting our eyes.
I'm not squinting my eyes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Not at all. Wait, yes you are.
So on a typical trip like this, I usually wake up about 4 hours before she does. And I know last week I said something about it being very busy week. Well, part of that busy weeks are all the walkthroughs I have to edit, all the RV walkthroughs that I'm knee deep in them right now. So when I wake up way before her like that, that's usually what I'm spending my time doing, is working on videos, mainly the walkthroughs. And then plus I gotta try to piece something together for the weekly videos. But this is fun. A little bike trail. We're done with it. Yeah, we're through. It's
Too many signs that say steep grade ahead. That's when you know you're in trouble. But it's nice and easy. There's no like rocks, and there's nothing, you know, that's difficult as far as going around things, or oh, well, except for that tree branch that was in the way at the beginning. There was no going over that one.
It's fun. We're tired. We're out of shape.
Speak for yourself.
We are out of shape.
I have a shape.
Yes, a beautiful one too. We're gonna get back to it. So if we were real YouTubers, we would have grabbed the cameras last night to begin with. So here's the story. We're sitting on the couch, or she's sitting on the couch, I'm working on the computer, and she looks out the window and says, the colors are just absolutely gorgeous right now. So I grab my camera and my tripod and I go out beside the river to get a couple of shots, because I'm not a good photographer, but I like to play like I am.
He's a good photographer.
And then she comes outside about 4 minutes later and says, we need to go up to the dam so we can get the sunset.
What's your language?
So we can get the sunset on the lake, because the night before it was real pretty, but neither one of us had our cameras. We had the video, but we didn't have our DSLRs. So, sounded like a great idea.
If we ever tell you something sounds like a great idea, run.
So, we jump in the car, drive over to the dam.
Which was only, what,
Yeah.
an eighth of a mile away?
Yeah,
or
we could have rode the bikes,
Yeah.
but we didn't want to lose the sunset. So, we drove over there, went up to the top of the dam, which is quite a little hike. And we look around and it is gorgeous. And off in the distance, it's spring in Oklahoma, folks. Off in the distance, you can see the rain coming across the lake.
Serious rain, serious.
Big time rain. She's got a good camera and it's weather resistant, so she could actually stand out there and take pictures in the rain. Myself, on the other hand, I've got the cheaper DSLR that is not weather resistant, so I need to get back to the car. So that is the only reason we headed back to the car.
Which was a steep hill, by the way, going back to the car.
I didn't have my shoes tied because I had just stepped out of the camper to take some pictures there by the camper, and so I'm going down these steps and it's starting to sprinkle a little bit, and not a big deal. We get back to the car and I'm not sure what happened. I actually thought maybe there was like a Bermuda Triangle type thing going on here at Great Salt Plains State Park, because I turn around and she's not there.
You didn't hear me say I was running up there to take pictures?
No,
I didn't know you didn't hear that.
She's not there. I'm like, well, okay. I get in the car and I start up the car and I'm sitting there waiting, and then at that moment the clouds start falling from the sky in the form of hail.
Big hail.
Quarter size hail, dime to quarter size hail. She's still nowhere to be found. At this point, I'm just
You think you're leaving me?
mildly concerned
Okay.
about the car. She comes running back to the car, laughing the entire way.
Running down a hill,
Yeah.
the hail like feeling like it's splitting my ears as it hits
Yeah,
me.
yeah. She gets in the car, we sit there for a few minutes, and we go back to camp.
Well, why did we sit there for a few minutes? Because I was concerned because there were some people that were fishing, that when it started raining, they weren't even thinking about leaving. You could tell they were like, oh, it's some rain, we can handle it. So I was really worried about these people because they were out in this hail. So we sat there until we saw them go back up to their trucks in a hurry.
So anyway, here's a little bit of footage of the hail that she took with her cell phone. So the Great Salt Plains State Park in north central Oklahoma, it's probably not too far from the Kansas border. It's really out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, don't forget your eggs. We speak from experience.
It's but it's nice that it's so secluded, and there are some nice trails, horseback riding, hiking, or biking. If you're into mountain biking, or if you're new to mountain biking, these trails, I think, would probably work out well if you're trying to learn how to shift gears at the appropriate moments, because there's a lot of ups and downs.
Just like life.
Oh my gosh, really.
I guess shift gears.
And then the Salt Plains Wildlife Refuge is right here in the area. Pretty cool.
And then talk about the commercial.
It wasn't a commercial, it was a TV show.
Oh yeah, it was that's right. It was, is this a great state or what?
Yeah, we were sitting watching TV last night, and they actually had a little clip about this state park that we were sitting in.
Pretty weird.
Kind of weird. But you can dig selenite crystals on the other side of the lake.
Starts at April 1st.
Yeah.
We're here a little early.
Yeah, it's like some bird home or something, so you can't do it between like October 15th.
Bird home? I think it's a nesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But you can't be over there between October 15th and April 1st, but April 1st you can go over there and dig selenite crystals, and it's a pretty popular thing to do up here.
And they're the only type crystals or something in the United States.
Yeah.
So something, I don't know.
The lake here, it is actually a saltwater lake. It's got about half the salt content as the ocean. I guess scientists' theory is there used to be an inland sea right in this area. So
we didn't see any sharks. We didn't.
Really?
Really didn't.
So what'd you think of the place?
I really liked it, and it's, you know, we were busy from time we got here doing stuff, and there's still more to do, which is really odd. We didn't dig for crystals, we didn't go down this path we're on right now, and we're getting ready to leave. It's surprisingly a lot to do out here. A lot of fishing, a lot of people. Okay, I'm not a fisherman, but you know when you like leave your fishing pole, you know, and then you go away and then you come back and I guess there's a fish on the end of the line. There's that kind of fishing. There's people illegally throwing nets in the water fishing. Don't do that one. And there's people fly fishing out here, so a little bit of fly fishing and cat, what is it, cast, you know, where you cast
Yeah.
that kind of fishing. There's a lot, and they were getting some big old catfish out there too.
Yep.
So
Lot to do up
no
here.
sharks.
For being out in the middle of nowhere, there is a lot to do out here. This is a place to come back to for sure.
I want to go paddleboard. There's an island out there.
2 islands out in the middle.
Okay,
of the
I
lake.
only saw one, but I'd take his word for it. I want to go paddleboarding out there
And
and see if we see a shark.
if you're a movie buff and you recall the movie Twister, just about 15 miles away from here is the town of Waukita, where Twister was filmed. And there is a little museum there. We didn't go because we were too busy doing the outdoorsy stuff, but if that interests you, it's just right nearby. So anyway, guys, that was Great Salt Plains State Park, Oklahoma. I believe they use the town of Jet as the nearest town, but
2 thumbs up. I can't give my other thumb up because I'm holding dog leashes, but there, 2 thumbs up.
not sure what the next video is going to be about, but you'll find out when we find out. Catch y'all down the trail.